All right, Patriots fans, buckle up because this one's going to be a ride. After that last game, I can already hear the buzz around New England. The overreactions are flying in every direction. And you know what? Maybe this time, the so-called overreactions aren't so crazy. The Patriots might actually be building something serious here. Yeah, you heard that right. This team that everyone counted out a few weeks ago is starting to look like a real contender in the AFC. They've got fight, they've got rhythm, and most importantly, they've got a young quarterback who's starting to look like the future of this franchise. Let's just start with the obvious. The Patriots are sitting right in that playoff picture. Right now, they're in the 7th seed, and if they keep up this pace, they could easily climb even higher. It's wild to think about considering how up and down things looked early on. But football is a long season. It's a grind. And teams that figure it out mid-season are usually the ones making noise when it matters most. Unless they completely fall apart over these next few weeks. This group has a very real shot at the postseason. And here's the thing. This isn't some fluke. What we saw in that one wasn't just luck or a few good bounces. The Patriots controlled the game from start to finish. Offensively, they moved the ball efficiently, racking up over 300 yards of total offense. Drake May looked poised, confident, and honestly mature beyond his years. He threw for over 260 yards, kept the ball safe, and led drives that chewed up the clock. That's what winning football looks like. No turnovers, sustained possessions, and smart decision-making. They held the ball for more than half the game, which tells you everything about how well they executed their game plan. Of course, it wasn't perfect. The penalties still drive everyone crazy. This team keeps shooting itself in the foot with unnecessary flags, and if they want to hang with the big dogs, that needs to stop. But outside of that, there's so much to like. The defense looked solid, especially up front. The interior line shut down the run game completely. When you've got guys like Christian Barmore and Milton Williams clogging the middle, running up the gut just isn't an option for opposing teams. And that forced fumble on Juwan Johnson, that was the kind of play that separates good teams from bad ones. When your back's against the wall, great teams find a way to make a play. And that's exactly what the Patriots did. Now, looking around the AFC, the landscape is wide open. Nobody has really separated themselves. The so-called elite teams have all shown cracks. The Colts, Steelers, Bills, even the Chargers, every single one of them has had off weeks. The conference feels like a game of musical chairs where anyone can take the next step at any moment. That's where the Patriots come in. With their current schedule and the momentum they're building, there's a legitimate path to not just sneak into the playoffs, but actually make some noise once they're there. And let's talk about Drake May, because this kid is making believers out of everyone. Every single week, he's been consistent. Against the Saints, he completed 18 of 26 passes for over 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's not a rookie-type performance. That's someone in complete control. He's now strung together 5 straight games with a passer rating over 100. 5 straight. You don't do that by accident. That's preparation, confidence, and leadership all wrapped into one. At this point, people are starting to whisper his name in the MVP conversation. And yeah, it sounds insane to even bring it up, but if you actually look at the numbers and the impact he's having, it's not far-fetched. The league has always been about quarterbacks, and right now, there aren't many playing better than May. Patrick Mahomes and a few others are always in that conversation, but statistically and in terms of consistency, May's right there. He's joined company with legends like Dan Marino as one of the few under 23 years old to throw for over 200 yards with a rating over 105 consecutive games. That's elite company. Now, before anyone jumps in with its too early talk, let's be clear. It's not about crowning him MVP today. It's about recognizing what he's doing right now, week in and week out, and how much he's changed the tone of this franchise. The Patriots finally have their guy, and it's showing in every snap. You can see it in how the offense believes, how the receivers run routes sharper, and how the line blocks with confidence. That's leadership. That's the kind of energy that spreads through a locker room and makes a team dangerous down the stretch. Next week, they've got the Titans, and honestly, that defense hasn't been good. The opportunity is sitting right there for Drake, made to keep this momentum rolling. Another big performance, and this MVP talk will only get louder. We're already 6 weeks into the season, and if he maintains this pace for the rest of the year while stacking wins, it'll be impossible to ignore him in that conversation. It's not an overreaction anymore. It's becoming reality. But the success of this team isn't just about the quarterback. Marcus Jones deserves a huge shout-out. He's been a difference maker on defense, playing with that spark every team needs. He's breaking up passes, locking down his side of the field, and making plays that completely shift the energy of a game. When a guy consistently steps up week after week like that, you can't ignore it. The Patriots have to think long-term here. They need to make sure he's part of this core for years to come. The guy is a playmaker in every sense of the word, and his versatility makes him one of the most valuable players on this roster. And let's be real, that game could have gone off the rails because of how poorly it was officiated. It might honestly be one of the worst officiated games we've seen in a long time. There were calls that made zero sense, flags thrown late, and penalties that got reversed for no reason. It's frustrating because you could tell how much it impacted the rhythm of the game. 11 penalties for 65 yards is already brutal, but the way some of those calls came in, it almost felt personal. Still, the team held its composure, which says a lot. There was that insane call on the 61-yard touchdown that got taken off the board. A perfect throw, perfect catch, wiped away by an offensive pass interference call that had everyone scratching their heads. Even players on the field were stunned. You could see the confusion and frustration, but instead of losing control, the Patriots responded. They regrouped, marched down the field, and still scored. That's what maturity looks like. That's what discipline looks like. Refereeing aside, this team is trending in the right direction. They're learning how to win ugly, how to deal with adversity, and how to close games out. And that's exactly the type of growth you want to see midway through the season. Next week against the Titans, it's going to be personal. Everyone knows Mike Vrabel circled this matchup the moment the schedule dropped. It's going to be emotional, intense, and physical, the kind of game that tests who you really are as a team. For the Patriots, it's about proving that the last few weeks weren't a fluke. It's about showing the league that they're not just hanging around the playoff picture. They're building something sustainable. The energy in the locker room feels different. The fans are starting to believe again, and the AFC better take notice. Because if this version of the Patriots keeps showing up on Sundays, it's going to get very interesting very soon. If there's one thing this season has taught us, it's that these Patriots are done being the underdogs. You can see in their body language, you can feel it in the way they step onto the field. There's a new kind of confidence here, not the loud or cocky kind, but the quiet, dangerous one, the kind that comes from a group that knows they can compete with anyone. The Patriots are no longer that team everyone circles on the schedule, thinking it's an easy win. Their problem now. Drake keeps proving he belongs in this league. Every throw he makes, every decision he takes, it just feels sharper, cleaner, more deliberate. He's not just managing games anymore. He's taking control of them. You can tell he's seeing the field differently now. His timing with his receivers has clicked into place, his pocket presence looks calm, and his reads are improving with each snap. It's wild to think that we're watching a second-year quarterback play like this. There's no panic, no happy feet, no rookie mistakes. Just composure and execution. And that's contagious. When your quarterback plays like he believes he can win every snap, the whole team starts to believe the same thing. That's been the story of the Patriots' transformation this year. It's not about flashy plays or highlight reels. It's about efficiency, balance, and discipline. It's about the defense stepping up when the offense stumbles and the offense answering when the defense bends. It's complementary football at its core. You can see how this coaching staff has adjusted too. The play calling has gotten smarter, more dynamic. They're trusting Drake made a throw in tight windows to make plays off script, and he's rewarding that trust. Defensively, this group is starting to resemble the kind of unit that made New England dangerous for years. The front seven has been relentless, collapsing pockets, forcing mistakes, and dominating the line of scrimmage. Opposing teams can't run between the tackles anymore, and even when they try to attack the edges, the speed on defense just shuts it down. Christian Barmore has been a monster up front, swallowing double teams and freeing up the linebackers to make plays. It's old-school football with a modern twist, Smash-mouth defense with athletes who can fly all over the field. But let's not forget about Marcus Jones. The guy's energy has been unreal. He's everywhere, breaking up passes, locking down receivers, flying to tackles, and still managing to make an impact on special teams. Players like him don't just fill a position. They change the identity of a defense. His ability to read plays before they even unfold has been next level, and it feels like every week he finds a way to make one or two plays that completely shift the game's momentum. That's the kind of player you build around. If you're a Patriots fan, you've got to love how this team responds to adversity. We've seen games where the calls went against them, drives stalled, or penalties killed momentum. But instead of unraveling, they've started to handle those moments with poise. It's been one of the biggest differences from the start of the season. You can tell that the locker room has bought in. There's belief in the system again. They're not getting rattled when things don't go their way. They're fighting through it. And that's what separates good teams from the rest. And yes, the officiating against the Saints was flat out awful. There's no sugarcoating it. That game was one of the most poorly called contests in recent memory. Phantom flags, late calls, inconsistent rulings. It had it all. But what mattered most was how the Patriots handled it. They didn't spiral. They didn't lose control. They adjusted, regrouped, and finished the job. That's maturity. A younger or less composed team probably would have fallen apart after that 61-yard touchdown was wiped out by an absurd offensive pass interference call. Instead, they stayed locked in, drove down the field, and punched it in any way. That's growth. It's moments like that which show how far this team has come. Earlier in the year, a bad call would derail an entire quarter. Now, they just move on to the next play. That speaks volumes about leadership, both from the coaching staff and from players like May, Matthew Judon, and Hunter Henry, who keep the energy grounded. When your leaders stay composed, everyone else follows suit. Now, with the Titans up next, the story gets even more interesting. This isn't just another regular game. This one's personal. Everyone knows the history between these teams, and Mike Vrabel definitely hasn't forgotten it. He's going to come in fired up, wanting to prove something, and you know the Patriots will match that intensity. The Titans might not be having their best season, but they're still a physical, tough opponent that can make any game ugly if you let them. This is exactly the kind of test that shows whether the Patriots' recent success is sustainable. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most talked about moves of the offseason, whispers have turned into headlines as the New England Patriots reportedly announced the signing of Tite and Mark Andrews. While the official channels are still confirming details, sources close to the team suggest that Andrews' arrival could bring a seismic shift to the Patriots' offensive scheme. Known for his elite route running, physicality in the red zone, and uncanny ability to find separation against tight coverage, Andrews immediately gives New England a weapon they have long been missing. The Patriots' offense, which has often been criticized for its inconsistency, suddenly looks more dynamic on paper. With Andrews on the roster, quarterback Mac Jones may now have a reliable target who can change the complexion of third-down situations and red zone opportunities. The mere thought of Andrews lining up alongside Hunter Henry and Jacoby Myers has fans speculating about a new era of offensive balance, one that could finally keep defenses guessing and force opponents into uncomfortable matchups. Social media has already exploded with reactions ranging from excitement to cautious optimism. Patriots fans are imagining highlight reel catches and clutch moments in Gillette Stadium, while analysts are debating how Coach Bill Belichick might tweak the playbook to fully utilize Andrews' skill set. Could we see more two tight end sets? Or will Andrews be unleashed in motion to create mismatches across the field? The speculation is almost as intoxicating as the potential impact itself. Of course, all of this comes with the usual caveat. Rumors have a way of inflating expectations. But if even a fraction of Andrews' reported talent translates to New England's game plan, the Patriots' offense could go from predictable to downright dangerous. Whether this is the start of a trend of aggressive signings or a one-off splash, the arrival of Mark Andrews is already creating buzz, and the NFL world will be watching closely as the Patriots look to turn whispers into wins. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.